Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. Game number 3, Guile Esports versus Reborn, and this is tied 1-1. We're jumping right into the drafting phase here. Reborn is going to ban out Aurora. Guile Esports is going to ban out Rampage. Thank God someone finally understands the power of Rampage, and they take him off the map.
So that leaves Gideon, Grux, the Shinbi, Wraith. Pretty much everybody's still in this draft except for Aurora and Rampage. I like that we've kind of established a meta over the course of this grand final.
Gideon Wraith picked up for Guile Esports. Shinbi picked up for Reborn. Who's loud? Who's loud, chat?
You were like, Game 3! And everybody like lost their shit because they couldn't handle you, Notch. They're like, holy,
It's
amazing. I love him.
It's all the sexiness. It's all the sexiness in the voice. Reborn is now picking their next two. Do we see them go with a Marauder? Well, Marauder's already been taken on the side of Guile Esports. So we'll see support and most likely jungler here. I want to see Richter in the jungle.
It would be fun. I would like to see a Richter at least showing his face in this grand final a little bit. LT picked up for Reborn. Pretty solid hero for them. Probably going to be played out of the mid lane, I would imagine. I don't really see Master Splinter playing too much Bellica at all.
Yeah, I think that's going to be involved in lane with for sure.
Are you getting quieter because of chat, Notch? Because I don't enjoy.
No, I moved. I sat back. I moved away from my
okay.
microphone.
Okay.
I'm just trying to watch this draft. Narbash picked up. So involve in the mid lane with Bellica. Reflect is going to be playing Shinbi. Master Splinter on Narbash.
I mean, it's looking like a pretty alright draft for both sides right now. Guile picking up the Gideon, which didn't work out for them too well in game 1, but maybe they have something else in their playbook here. They're also picking up the OP Grux as well as a Richter for their side, which probably means that we're not going to see a Richter out of the jungle, but probably a support Richter for Lucer, which I'm pretty excited about.
Lucer is the best support Richter in the game. Fight me, chat. He is amazing at it. It's very fun to watch. Grux in the jungle, again on Doc. Gideon and Grux did not work out well for Guile Esports last time. Like you said, hopefully they've got a couple cards hidden up their sleeve here because it did not go well last time. Drongo? Chimera picked up for the side of Reborn. You guys see that? Do you guys see that? Chimera picked up on the side of Reborn.
That's pretty interesting. We have not. I don't even know if Chimera has been picked up at all during this PCL, and to see him for the first time in the grand final definitely says a lot about Reborn's hero pool and what they're willing to get here. J Leo's had some fantastic performances on that in the past, and I can't wait to see what they have in store here with Sevrog being the last pickup for Guile Esports. Probably going to be Regal's offlane Sevrog as well. So with that being said, Notch, we're ready for game number 3 of this grand final.
Hell yes, we are. Let's start game number 3, Pith.
All right, let's do it in 3, 2, 1, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, game number 3 of the finals. Reborn versus Guile Esports. You saw that draft. I'm going to introduce Reborn up first. NATO Sick on Drongo. J Leo in the jungle on Chimera. Reflect in that off lane, playing the Shinbi Involve, playing Lieutenant Bellica and Master Splinter on Narbash. That pumpkin skin, hot fire Halloween skin right there. What do we got on the side of Guile Esports, brother?
For Guile Esports, it's going to be Regal playing the Sevrog offlane. We've got Idic inside the jungle with a Grux. We've got Azzy hanging out. He's going to be the caster type as the Gideon. Ghost will be handling the Wraith out of the mid lane, and then finally Lucer will be handling the support duties as a Richter.
So Chimera coming out for the side of Reborn. We have not seen this hero this weekend, and we're seeing him for the first time in a finals match. This is a deciding match right here. Like you said, Reborn or Leo has been fantastic on this hero in the past. What is his objective playing this hero? What do you want to see out of Leo?
I mean, what you really get out of that hero is single target lockdown. He's got a of a lot of single target abilities, and he's there to do a huge amount of damage and then start to sustain through the fights. I wouldn't really say that his team has a huge amount of sustain other than the Narbash, so he's probably going to not stray too far away from Master Splinter. But if he can get the single targets out, and especially the right targets, I'm seeing a pretty good game for Reborn right here.
I gotta say that the draft feels stronger for the side of Guile Esports. But what I want to say is we saw Grux Gideon before, and it just didn't work out well. Involve in the mid lane in a lot of trouble here. He is going to get rewound, backed it up. Nope.
To his own tower?
To his tower, to safety. Ghost? Well, Ghost just decided to keep Involve alive. Rewound him under the safety of his tower. And that's the thing that happened. Reflect, we've talked about Reflect. Reflect is if one thing he is consistent playing Shimby anytime he can pick that hero. We've got Regal back in the offlane, though, with Seborog. We saw him stack effectively in the offlane with this hero. But we just saw the team fall apart with this particular draft. So hopefully, they've got the cards because they got to do something. This last draft, the last time they had these heroes, it didn't go well for them.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. It's strange for me to be seeing. Actually, hold that thought. We've got Ida getting caught out inside of the river. He's almost gone down. One more hit from Involve is going to do it, and he does manage to pick up that kill for the first blood for Team Reborn. As I was saying, I'm a little bit surprised to see Regal coming back as a Sevorog. I think he just had a bit too difficult of a time really playing against Reflect in the last one, and I'm just not really convinced that his Sevorog is able to have as much of an impact on the game as some of his other heroes.
Yeah, I mean, he did have a large impact last time when playing that hero, so it's going to be interesting to see how well he does.
Interesting lane swap here, though. Ghost and Lucer making their way into the lane. Ghost missing nearly every shot on a native. Lucer says, you know what, I may as well help you out here. So they make their way over to Regal's lane, and it looks like Regal's having a bit of a difficult time on
They're already on Fangtooth, by the way, just in case you were wondering.
Oh. Well, okay.
So that's going to be a 3-minute and 57-second Fangtooth picked up, which is going to be a massive swing in gold for the size of Reborn. It's going to give you card power. It's going to give you 1 pip. It's going to give you that 4 power at 3 minutes. That's a huge advantage 4 minutes into the game.
Looks like Regal's actually disconnected here. Hopefully he's going to be able to get back soon. But from what I could tell out of the team chat that they were having some difficulties regarding something crashing into a telephone pole. So hopefully that gets figured out soon. But that's a very early Fangtooth for Reborn. Really just putting it right on the map. As soon as Ghost and Lucer rotate over to the right lane, they go right for the Fangtooth and already get a pretty nice advantage for themselves.
So Regal with the disconnect, like we pointed out. Master Zorby, you're correct. DC is the strongest form of CC in Paragon. Reflect in this lane over here against Involve. I'm sorry, not Involve. Azzy on Gideon. I mean, this lane clearly has to go to. Clearly goes to Reflect.
Well, hold that thought. Involve might not be able to do too well in his lane at all. Misses the Seismic Assault on the mid lane. Lucer is just able to easily hit that hook after the back it up comes from Ghost. Reflect is waiting here on the low ground, and Idic has come here as well. Can Reflect actually get something done with the all kill? He is at level 5, but both teams are just going to disengage here in mid.
So picking up a kill onto in the mid lane here. Azzy is pushing out, doesn't realize Shimby's behind him. Shimby is level 5. So Azzy's got to be careful because here comes Reflect.
Reflect does start up with the circle rhythm. Azzy gets a couple of rocks on top of the head, but Azzy is running a little bit low on mana. Uses the Dark Rift already to get out. He's not going to get the off kill on him, though.
Not going to get the off kill. I was going to say, if he had I guess if he had the mana for it.
He did have the mana for it. I think it just wasn't enough stacks to really get the kill, so why waste the ability?
That's true. We can't see the stack, so not sure how many he has there. Looking for that extra.
Ooh, nice pull on the
Natosic
Natosic.
is picked out. Lucer's Richter gameplay is just a beauty. It's a beauty to watch. You combo that with the rewind of Ghost on Wraith, and the way they combo off each other is just it's going to be pretty devastating for these guys. You can't even tell they're down a player. I mean, Regal is going to be hurting for farm when he comes up. But watching these guys play the mid lane here, they're able to pick up 2 quick kills because of this combination. That is another Raptor, guys. Did you hear the Raptor chime? A Fangtooth chime.
Nothing.
I'm gonna do
nothing can duplicate that.
No, it's actually it's a perfect impression of Fangtooth. It's spot on. Hopefully one day we'll be able to do like
you should get a voice recording session and then you'll just do the Fangtooth sound.
Yeah, I want to do an announcer pack for Fangtooth every time he spawns. Leo Grande already on the Fangtooth here.
Oh man, Master Splinter gonna get hit by the hook though. Lucer going right on in, but here comes the Void Bomb on the backside of it. Ghost is still gonna try to fight against Master Splinter, trying to take the kill. Meanwhile, Improv and Natosic will combine for the Lucer take, and meanwhile, Jay Leo is already going for the second Fangtooth, already at just almost 8 minutes for Reborn.
2 early Fangtooths. Leo is going to be able to take it.
I mean, that's just also what the Chimera allows you to do, because it's going to take a lot of hits to take the Fangtooth down, so he's able to regen through most of it, and after all is said and done, he's at about 2/3 health. Pretty healthy after taking and tanking a Fangtooth by himself.
Yeah, I mean, if he wanted to take an engagement, he could definitely still take an engagement. Unfortunately, Regal is still disconnected, which puts these guys at a huge disadvantage for Guile Esports here.
Yeah, it is really unfortunate.
8 minutes into the game, 2 Fangtooth picked up for the side of Reborn. Chimera being able to basically solo both of those. Possess Sprite online. He's also picked up a Nitro boost and an Outliner Scout to give him that extra vision. This card is a combustible card, so it means it dequips upon death, but it gives him a 1,500 unit radius around him of true sight.
It's pretty good for taking out the wards as well, give your team some map control. I see a lot of junglers picking up this card recently.
It's just it's 1,000 gold. It's a good early game vision, so make sure you're not being invaded on, and it also gives you a chance to see what they're doing in the enemy jungle. Guys, the disconnect was handled by our mods. Both of the teams decided to continue and not remake the game. They had that option and they continued to play it out.
Yep, we're not really here to talk about admin decisions or anything, or the team's decisions. We're here to talk about the game. There is a little bit more going on in the mid lane. Idek will be taken down by Natosic here. Jay Leo is going to tank the tower for a bit. Reflect comes around from the backside. Should be an easy take for him. He'll just take Idek off of the map. Pretty nice for Reborn, and they seem to be grouping up around the mid lane now. I don't Unfortunately, it seems like this situation is not really being resolved too much. So Reborn are going to try to push the advantage down the mid lane, and do take the tier 1 tower here.
They do pick up the tier 1 tower. Ghost is back. Got all of the visual bugs.
All of the visual bugs.
All of the visual bugs right now. There's lots of corpses littering the field. And Ghost has no health, but we'll make it work, guys. Reborn continuing to just push this advantage.
Now they're trying to go for a tier 1 tower in the left one, with Natosic still doing his thing over on right. Maybe they're just going to let Reflect have this tower, as he's pretty low on mana, doesn't really have too much to try to defend this. While Reflect goes for the gold buff. It's really just Reborn not really having too much pressure on them thanks to Regal being disconnected, so they're really able to go wherever they want, farm wherever they want, and pick up all the buffs too. Regal still connected. disconnected while Reflect is pushing in on the left lane. So maybe... Oh, we're going to have another Fangtooth by Jaylee. This will be the third one of the game.
Yeah, third Fangtooth at this point is just uncontested. There's nothing that Regal could do as, or not, I'm sorry, not Regal, Guile Esports can do as at this moment in time. They could try and make a push here, but 4v5 at an inherent disadvantage.
Idek hardly even wants to go in right now. As he may be thinking about it, Ghost is going to walk on in, pretty much give himself up. As he is going to get silenced by the gag grenade, as he did get a pretty good black hole off, but the crash bang boom is going to do way too much damage to Guile Esports, who will just get blown up inside the pit. And I think at this point, Guile may just decide to give in. Looks like we do have Regal back. Regal is back on the map. Hello?
Yeah, Regal is back on the map. He is reconnected to the game. He is going to be at a clear disadvantage. Or Prime going to be taking up. Or Prime going to be attacked right now by these guys. They have the do it.
Yeah, it's a pretty big big advantage for Reborn. So they take the OP here. Maybe Regal steals it with the subjugate. Would be probably the
best play ever.
The most awesomest play he ever made as a player. Coming in as a level 4 Sevrog getting the subjugate for an OP steal. That would be intense, but unfortunately not happening this time around.
No, unfortunately, like you said, not going to happen. Prime picked up Regal with the reconnect, but he is behind in levels. He's behind in gold, and of course he doesn't have those stacks he needs. Orb Prime activated. 3 Orb Primes picked up. Three Orb Primes. 3 Fangtooths picked up for the side of Reborn here. This is going to be a very hard defense for these guys.
Yeah, it will be incredibly difficult. So Reborn, they're grouping up around the mid lane. Reflect is hanging over on left. Still wants to try to get a tier 1 tower to his name. As the rest of the team should be able to make short work of this tier 2 as Drawn goes rad round, just making it pretty easy to blow that tower up. And they're probably looking for the inhib at this point as well, with the OP giving them a whole lot more power for this push, as well as some good minion pressure as well. They'll keep on going.
I mean, you've got Orb Prime, you've got a clear advantage here. Why not keep on going at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. Reflect will be hit by a nice smash and grab from Idek, but loose there. He'll be taken out as well. Reflect is going to go on through, almost kill off Ghost. They will eventually get him with the wolves, and Reborn with another pretty good fight at the inhib with the OP. They may decide not to go through, especially without the minion wave, but they are definitely in full control of this match right now.
Tier mid inhibitor has been taken. They're just going to run through the jungle. Fangtooth should be respawning in about 10 to 15 seconds here. 15 seconds, Fangtooth will spawn. They will be picking up their 4th Fangtooth if they decide to. With Orb Prime activated, they're going to go try and take down these towers here. And continue to push this with the objective they have in Orb Prime activated. Chimera back on that Fangtooth spawn as he spawns. What a good animation when he spawns in. That red orb of amazingness.
I feel like that model's stupidly huge though too. Like,
it's massive.
If you look at the heroes in response, but they're like half the height. Like, they basically just resized the old Raptor models and they're like, here's Fangtooth. I believe that KL did imply
a little bit of gold paint.
I believe that they implied that they're going to change that model in the future as well.
Yeah, I heard him say that they were going to, not heard him say, but he was talking about how it was a placeholder on one of the community.
Almost as good as the placeholders that we used to have before.
Was it alpha
Pre-alpha
content?
those were some good stuff. Second inhib gonna get taken down here by Reborn. They're already putting a lot of pressure onto it. Have some good ranged minion pressure as well. Reflect will just go in and tank it, while Jay Leo's pushing down the right lane. See if Native Sick can solo things all by his lonesome here. He'll use the shrapnel cannon to get out of trouble, and Reflect will just continue to go forward. Nice little group invis there used by Lucer, and they might be able to get Reflect. They do have the back it up on him. They missed the sniper shot onto him though. That could be devastating. Reflect will actually get taken down by Guile, playing the possum, losing 2 innings before they decide to take a kill. Meanwhile, Regal, he is getting decimated, as I think a lot of people would expect after being gone for that long.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it was a very unfortunate disconnect, but according to the rules, tournament organizers are following the rules, and so are the players. So, chat, we get that it may not be the most exciting finals ever, but rules were followed. Again, unfortunate for Guile Esports. We could all argue that the disconnect from NATO Sick in the last round helped Guile Esports win their game. Um, so there's a lot of things happening here. Again, Reborn took the advantage. They picked up 3 Fangtooths, which gave them a clear advantage in this particular match.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate when you see outside features other than the game just have some kind of an impact, and it would really be nice to have some kind of pausing mechanism for the teams here. Maybe that's something that is worked on in the future, but unfortunately right now it's just not something that's been included in the build of Paragon that we have for private matches. So it's just something that we as the community have to deal with, and still great on both these teams to make it into the grand final, regardless of the result of that match.
Tier 2 tower is going to be taken here for the side of Reborn.
Yep, Reborn just again making short work of this. They'll go in on the inhib, and they should probably be able to take the core right now. Probably shouldn't be a whole lot of things from Guile that can stop them, as they will probably be taking the crown in PCL 11. It was a bit of an anticlimactic finals. I would say that game number 2 was one of the better games of Paragon that we've seen for a while. We have seen some pretty good ones in the past, but game 2 was probably one of the top tier, as we saw both teams really going at it. And Hero's going all over the place here, trying to go for this final fight, have a little bit of fun, as he goes in with a pretty good black hole, manages to get a kill. But unfortunately, that will probably be all she wrote for Guile Esports. Unfortunately, the telephone poles are not always on our side. And, well, I think we're going to have to wait until the next PCL to see really a great matchup between these two teams, Notch.
Yeah, very unfortunate disconnect. We do know that there was an accident at Regal's house. Somebody crashed into a phone pole, and apparently his internet died, which caused an issue. They were able to get him back into the game, but at this point, it was a little bit too late. Congratulations to Reborn. Unfortunate turn of events. We saw a great game number 2 out of both of these teams. Really fun, exciting game to cast. Reborn is going to take game number 3, and they're going to take PCL 11 and become our final champions. So thank you to all the teams who participated. Again, very unfortunate turn of events for Guile Esports. We wish we could do more, but unfortunately, we were following the rules. You guys can continue to argue and chat all you want, but rules are rules. And being a sanctioned epic event, we will do just that and follow the rules, as did both of the teams following the rules as well. Thank you guys for hanging out and watching. What we're going to do is, Jay Leo, you absolutely can go ahead and post that here in this chat. Thank you for all of the teams competing. Thank you to everybody watching competitive Paragon this weekend. We had an absolute blast and saw some incredible games, and we appreciate all of your guys' support. What'd you think of this weekend, Pith? You got to cast both days. You saw some great games. What did you think, man?
Honestly, I think that other than this grand final, I mean, if you look at just game 2, Paragon is in a better state than a lot of people thought it was going to be. Even I didn't really think we would see this kind of quality of matches here. I think that we're getting to the point where if we can have 2 bans in the game for each team, if we can, have a little bit more of a fleshed out private lobby system, I think the game is gonna be in a good place. And it feels so weird to say that. It
Right.
doesn't really make sense. I didn't think I was gonna be able to say that at the beginning of the weekend, but here we are, and it doesn't look bad.
No, I had a lot of fun. I think we saw some really interesting matches this weekend. We saw some teams where a lot, we heard the overpowered talk. We heard the strength of certain heroes. But if you go and watch these teams and the way the competitive players played, they found a way to work around these heroes and those OP heroes. And I think it was absolutely great competition up until this last game here. Um, but Rampage, man, Rampage was for me the king of the weekend. We just saw some insane Rampage play. So thank you guys as always for watching. Thank you guys for supporting competitive Paragon. We'll be back in a couple weeks with another PCL. If you guys are interested in signing up, make sure you guys follow our webpage, www.paragonleague.com. You can also follow us on all of our social media channels as well. The links should be down below. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Epic for creating Paragon. Thank you to the competitive teams for playing. Thank you to the PCL team for being badass this weekend. We'll see you guys next time.